Welcome all you air signs to your weekly energy update. This of course is for all you my Geminis, my Libras, my Aquarians, no matter where it is at in your chart. And we're going to be looking at the week of January 30th to February 6th. Now, of course, if you're coming across this video outside of that time frame, I'd still say watch it, listen to it, because if your gut instinct brought you here, then of course your intuition has messages for you here. Now, if you are watching this between those time frames, big day, February 1st, of course, we've got the Aquarius new moon coming in, starting of a new month as well. I do have separate videos for each zodiac sign for the Aquarius new moon and monthlies. Also have some love part 3 readings coming out on February 5th. I have part 1 and part 2 from last year that I'll link somewhere either up here at the end of the video or down in the description box if you want to check out your love readings, because all of those are timeless anyway. So enough of those. I just want to let you know that there's all those readings available. But for this week, for all you air signs, we're going to start off pulling a card here, or at least one, from the Wisdom of the Avalon Oracle. To see what the Creator wants you to know about this upcoming week. There we go. So for our air signs, what do you want them to know? Okay. Yep, so that's the only one. And you've got, fear, dun dun dun. And yeah, that's a sacred journey marker, which I would not be, don't be fearful about fear, right? The only thing to fear is fear itself. So yeah, this is just that fears are making themselves known, but we're going to take a look here with these Art of Manifestation Oracle and just see what the Creator wants you to know about your fears, because they're going to be, at least one is going to be brought up during this next week for you to be aware of. So, Creator, what else do you want our air signs to know about their fear, please? Okay. Any others? Okay, I thought there was one more. And you've got the fear of making a mistake, huh? I see. It says if you feel you've made a mistake, or indeed someone else has done so with impact on you, please don't feel bad about this. Treasure and value your mistakes and those of others around you. They are the cutting edge of our personal growth and evolution. Lean into the learning and celebrate your openness to grow. Yeah. So that's perfect here, and I'll see what this one says here in a sec too. But yeah, so this is all about having a fear being brought up to you and being brought to your attention so that you can see and get to the root of it and to understand the fear. It's part of your growth. And so when we feel we've made a mistake, or you feel you've failed, or you have the fear of failure, a fear of making a mistake, that is helping you get to understand just how, when you define yourself by the outside world, those things are unstable, so you feel unstable. Because if you define yourself by your relationships, whether it's romantic or family or friends or work or your feather babies, your fur babies, or if you're defining it by your opportunities or circumstances, like your education, your job, your career, whatever it may be, or things like your body, your possessions, your bank account. All of those things are unstable. People change or pass away. Situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So when you define yourself and you have yourself being, your worth, your value on the outside things, then you feel unstable too. And so when we're disappointed enough by the outside things, we're turned inward to find our true worth and to find how priceless we are. Yeah, learn to say no. This says, saying no is an act of love. When we say a healthy no to an abusive situation, whether this is in response to another person or to ourselves, we're setting limits and establishing healthy boundaries. A healthy no is saying yes to life. Give yourself permission to say no. So yeah, I love this. So two kind of different messages. One being about the fear of making a mistake. The other is the fear of what will happen if you tell someone no. And that is a beautiful, one of my greatest lessons in life was when I learned my power of no. And it is very revealing a bit to yourself of what are you fearing is going to be the worst? You know, what's the worst that could happen? They could kill you, you know, then you can look into your fear of death. But the worst thing that can happen is if you tell someone no and they get upset, is that they're revealing to you, they're really the status of your relationship, right? Because if you're always afraid to tell someone no, and I'm not talking about being a douche about it like a 2-year-old, no, you know, it's like saying, no, I don't want to go do that, or I just don't want to head that direction. And if they're like, what? I can't believe it, blah, blah, and they blow up, one, you can wait until they calm down and then, you know, talk it through and find out where their fears are. Because if they're reacting in that way, then they just went into fight or flight mode and there's a battle that happens, right? But when you understand the roots of your fears, then you can say no without fear. And, you know, because, and it, like I said, it has to do with you finding your worth within yourself. Because if you stop looking outside of yourself for your value and your worth, you don't care so much about people's reactions. You know, you're just like, you know what? It's not about, like I said, it's not being a douche about it. You can still be loving, but you're not allowing yourself to be manipulated through fear of the repercussions of the outside. We're also going to pull some tarot here just to get clarification on this too. See what else the Creator wants you to know about this upcoming week. I did want those two, so we will do that in one more time. Okay, I wanted these two too. All right, anything else? Any others? Okay. There we go. And so we've got, so they want these two for here and these two for here, and then all this for the rest of your reading here. So we're going to start off with the Emperor here, because the Emperor represents, there's two sides to the Emperor. There's a loving side to the Emperor, which is like I always call the loved or loving Emperor. And that Emperor is one who makes rules and creates things so that the kingdom, everyone within the kingdom, can flourish and have success and have fruitful abundance. But when fear kicks in for an emperor, the loving emperor transforms into a dictator, where when we're in fear and we're feeling unsafe, we want control. We want to maintain our control, gain more control, and maybe even take control away from others so that we can feel safe again. And I kind of feel like this is this transformation that's happening here, because you've got 48, so you've got a 4. You got 34, you have another 4. You got 31, 3 plus 1 is 4. So you have this 4 energy here of this emperor that is about getting this control, transforming from this place of feeling that you have to control everything outside of yourself to understanding and transforming back into that loving emperor who doesn't define himself by like how much wealth that, you know, that the emperor has. He looks at how much love is being, I want to say, magnified in his kingdom. And I really feel drawn to this one next, which is the 7 of Cups. Cups are our emotions. And what was really jumping out in here is this. You can see this butterfly. This transformative energy. These are all the emotions. There's this confusion around what you're supposed to feel. And I kind of almost feel like this has to do with this no. Actually, all of it really with this fear. Because this is not so much your emotions. You're afraid of what emotions are going to be spat your way, what are going to come your way by your choices and your decisions. So this is that I'm afraid of what are the people going to think? And I normally don't read that way, But I really feel like that is what's coming in here is related to your fears. And that's what a dictator is like. The emperor, if he's a loving emperor and he's looking out for all of his kingdom, he knows that they're going to be loving him back because he's not trying to do it. But a dictator is always afraid that he's going to get stabbed in the back like Caesar did, right? And then you've got 10, the Wheel of Fortune. I think this is called, this says the Wheel of the Year, but this is the Wheel of Fortune in a standard tarot. And there's this great message that comes with this, because before you come down here, your soul chose what fated events they wanted to have unfold in this life. They knew when they were coming down and when they were going to leave. They chose the character, you, that was going to represent them on this plane of existence, and all these fated events that they wanted to experience throughout your life. Well, within each of those fated events, you still have your power of choice. You still get to choose what story you're going to apply to that situation, what emotion you're going to choose in that situation. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like we're able to, like we're making a choice because it happens so fast. This thing happens, we feel this way, this thing happens. This is what we believe it means. But if we could slow down time to be really slow, we would see the moment that we made the decision, and that we can make a different decision if we so choose. And so you move from this feeling like you're this victim on this out of control drama train that's about to jump the tracks and dramatically explode in the gorge, to where you feel, that you're on this like monorail train, like at Disney World, where the train is actually attached to the track. It can't fly off. It's a smooth moving train, has all its stops that happen exactly on time and on purpose. And so you move from this victimhood of where life happens to you to this victorhood where life happens for you instead. So from to you to for you. And this is where this transformation happens here as well. You do have the High Priestess here, which is all about new moon energy. You can see the new moon on the bottom here. So I really feel that paying attention to this new moon energy that's coming in for you is so huge and so important for this week. So I really would encourage you to look at the Aquarius new moon reading for your sign, whether you watch it for your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign, whatever one you're aware of, whatever one you're drawn to. I would even look at all three if you feel so inclined, because I really feel this moon energy, which the High Priestess harnesses, is so important for this information for you this week. Then you've got these two are for mistakes here. Yeah, you've got the King of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. So this is where your fears come from. But the King, it's a great card to have, because the King has the Ace of Swords. He wields it like all the royalty in the sword suit. And it allows you to see these capital T truths. It allows you to see things from this higher perspective, from the heavenly realms. It also gives you the ability to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. And I love that the Five of Pentacles came up with this one, because the Five of Pentacles is this belief about your worth. It's this transformation about thinking that the outside world abandoned you, thinking that the outside world has let you down, thinking that you are lacking, that you're missing so much in your life that you should have. These expectations are all about all these beliefs and opinions that you were given about your life. And this Five of Pentacles transforms to where, instead of you feeling that the outside world is where you get your abundance, that it's this transformation where you have this awareness that everything that you need in your life comes from the Creator of all things, that comes from the spirit world. They have unending abundance. They have endless resources. And so whatever is meant for you will not pass you by. And so these mistakes that are coming up here, this message of mistakes, if you believe, look, well, if I whatever's happening, I'm missing it now. I'm not going to get what I wanted, and now I didn't choose that. Well, whatever is meant for you won't pass you by. So if you don't choose it the first time, it goes down the street and does a U-E and comes back on the other side of the street so you can catch it again. So it keeps coming into your path if it's meant for you. And we realize then that the outside world is not our source, but they're the shipping company. The creator is the one that brings us what we need, and then they may bring it through other people. So they're the shipping company, they're the delivery drivers, and the creator is going to get us what we need, and we'll never not have what we need in this moment. We may not have everything we need in this moment for all future moments, because we'll have enough for what we need in this experience, what we're needing right now. Tomorrow you will get that as well. One of the examples that Spirit gave me to help me understand that was showing this little kid, and he was in a lunch line at elementary school. He had his lunch money for the day, and he was freaking out because he thought his lunch money for today he needed for make it last the entire week. And there's this sweet lunch lady, and she's like, honey, she goes, this is just for today. So you have plenty for today. You will get new money, lunch money for tomorrow. And so it's like, and so there's like this awareness around worth, awareness around abundance, and around these fears around worth really coming in clear here. And then you've got, okay, so you have the moon and you've got the strength card too. So again, the moon energy coming in here, with this high priestess is definitely the moon phase. And in this particular one, they have a new moon showing here. So definitely pay attention to the moon cycles. Whether you watch the video that I put out for your sign for Aquarius new moon or something somewhere, you definitely are getting this message. You need to delve into this moon energy to understand it, because there's additional messages there for you. And the strength card is another beautiful capital T truth that's coming in addition to this one, because this tells you that you can see here you have a lion, which this represents your human self. Like when I talked about with the Wheel of Fortune, this is your soul. You can see here, she's got the infinity symbol. This is the infinite you, the maiden, and the lion. This is the one who decided that it wanted to be a lion when it came down here. Your character decided all the fated events. And the lion, of course, arrived very hungry and very thirsty. And it's told, look out there, like we talked about, for what's going to fill you up and make you not thirsty anymore. Relationships, situations, or things like body and, finances and possessions and all that. Well, the more the lion went out there to eat of all that, the more hungry he became. It's like American Chinese food. You eat it, if it fills you up at all, you're hungry an hour later. Or when he drank of something in the outside world, he was even more thirsty. So he became desperate and he became hangry. He's hungry, angry. He's roaring in the jungle. Now, in the beginning, the little lion's not aware of its higher self, the maiden. And so it's, that's why it feels so desperate and feels so alone. But our higher self is always aware of our lion little self, our little human self. And so it hears us roaring and it comes down. And it doesn't come down to kill us and put us out of our misery. It doesn't try to cage us to save other people from us. And it doesn't try to control us or manipulate us like with a whip and a chair like they do in the circus and all that. Because it knows, our higher self knows that what our little lion is truly hungry for, what it's truly desiring, is unconditional love. It's not finding it out there, because it can only find it from within here. And so because our higher self is made of unconditional love, it comes down and it hugs our lion and it gives it the love it's been looking for all along. So our lion transforms from this hangry, roaring lion in the jungle to this purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full, feeling its thirst quenched, feeling unconditionally loved, probably for the first time in its life. And now it can join together. You know, now that the lion is aware of our higher self, it knows it can always find what it's looking for inside of it, and it begins this new journey. It becomes this new place, and it moves from this place of fear into this place of strength, of courage. Like the cowardly lion in the Wizard of Oz, he found his courage, and it was inside of him all along. So I am loving this for you. Now, in addition to these, like I mentioned at the beginning, I do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates like these, new moon, full moon, and a variety of other readings. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then the subscribe button, that'll make the notification bell pop up, which allows you to choose to be notified immediately when new videos come out for this channel. Also, doing all of that helps spread the love, because if you like and share and subscribe, doing any of those things makes the YouTube algorithm so happy that it wants to share these videos with others too as recommended videos. So if you want to do any of those, of course, I am truly grateful. Never any pressure to do so. Right on my air signs, just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. Until then, you take care.